Hello IP5, I'm Teacher Joe and welcome to week 6 of our English Summer 2020 review class. Last week we started English chapter 3, verbs, and we talked about present tense verbs. This week we're going to talk about past tense and future tense verbs, so we will get started. Okay, English chapter 3, verbs, lesson 2, past and future tense verbs. So we already know that verbs show what something does or what something is. And we learned last week that the tense that the verb is written in tells us when that happens. Last week we talked about present tense verbs, which tell us about something that is happening now. We use past tense verbs to describe something that has already happened. So before now, we use a past tense verb to say something that has happened before this moment. Now, usually making past tense verbs is quite easy. You just add ed to the verb to make it past tense. So in these examples, Harley reviewed her notes after every lesson. We've got the verb review, and then we add ed to make it past tense, reviewed. Greg fastened his seatbelt as he got into the car. We've got the verb fasten, we add ed, and now it's past tense, so we know that it's something that has already happened and is finished. I opened a can of Pepsi. We've got the verb open, we add ed. Now we know that it's something that happened before now. Okay, last week when we were talking about the present tense, we learned that we had to remember a few different rules on how to write the verb, depending on whether the subject was singular or plural, or depending on which pronoun we used. We learned that when we have plural noun, two nouns in the subject, or a plural noun in the subject, then you don't change the verb. So we've got this example, Carla and Margaret destroy their notebooks. We've got the verb destroy. We don't change that verb because there's two people in the subject. Now in the present tense, if there's only one noun in the subject or a singular noun in the subject, we would add s to that verb. So instead of Carla and Margaret destroy their notebooks, if I'm only talking about Carla, Carla destroys her notebooks. We add s to that verb. Now in the past tense, whether I'm talking about Carla and Margaret or just Carla, I add ed to the verb, destroyed, destroyed. I don't need to change the verb in the past tense, whether the subject is singular or plural. I don't say Carla destroys Z, I just say Carla destroyed. Same whether it's singular noun or plural noun. Same thing with the pronouns. We know that for the pronouns I, you, we, and they, that you do not change the verb in the present tense. And we know that for the pronouns he, she, and it, you add s to the verb in the present tense. So I wander through the forest, he wanders through the forest. But in the past tense, whether I'm using I or he or you or we or they or she or it, you just add ed. I wandered, he wandered. Now, in the past tense, even though we don't need to worry about the subject, whether the subject is singular or plural or which pronoun we're using, we do still need to think carefully about how the verb is spelled. If the verb already ends with the letter E, you do not add ed. You don't have two e's there to make it past tense. You just add d after the e that you already have in the verb, and then you know it's past tense. So, I arranged a party for my friend. Arrange means like organize, set up. So I arranged a party for my friend. The verb arrange already ends with the letter E. I do not add ed, I just add d, arranged. Angela and Neil continued with their work. The verb continue ends with e, I just add d to make it past tense, continued. And last one, Haley phoned her friend. The verb phone you might think is a noun, but if you call someone on the phone, you can use it as a verb as well. Haley phoned her friend. The verb phone ends with the letter E. Add D. Now you've got past tense. Okay, like we've seen before, if a verb ends with one consonant, so any letter that is not a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, and then the letter Y, we change the Y to I, then add ed to make it past tense. So, Callie married Elliot. The verb marry ends with the consonant R and then Y. We change this Y to I, then add ed. Pete and Horace fried some eggs. The verb fry ends with the same consonant R and then Y. Change the Y to I, add ed. Student rectified her mistake. Rectify means like fix the mistake. The verb rectify ends with F, Y. F is a consonant, then you've got Y. We change Y to I, rectified. Now, if a verb ends with one vowel, A, E, I, O, U, and then one consonant, any letter that is not A, E, I, O, U, except the consonants W, X, or Y, we double the consonant, and then we add ed to make it past tense. So, ancient civilizations worshipped the sun, like they saw the sun as a god. Worship ends with the vowel I, then the consonant P. We double the consonant P, add ed, worshipped with W-O-R-S-H-I-P, P-E-D. The rain thudded on the ground. Thudded means like smack. The verb thud ends with the vowel U and the consonant D. We double the D, add ed. Thudded, T-H-U-D, D-E-D. Last one, Harmony patted the cute puppy. Pat, like you pat the dog, you tap it on the head. The verb pat ends with the vowel A and the consonant T. Double the T, add ed, patted. Last week we talked about the special verb be. The special verb be tells you what something is. And last week we learned about its present tense forms. We also describe what something is in the past, like before now. So in the past tense, we use was or were as the forms of the special verb be to tell us what something was like before now. So again, like last week, it depends on whether the subject is singular or plural, or which pronoun we use. For the pronoun I, we say was. I was hungry. For the pronoun you, we say were. You were envious of her. Envious means like jealous. He, she, and it, we say was. He was larger than life. She was a brilliant scientist. It was morning. We also use was for a singular noun, one person, place, or thing. So Jake was the best. We use were with the pronouns we and they. We were the winners, they were horrible. We also use were with plural nouns, so more than one person, place, or thing. So the clothes were neatly folded. So we've learned about the present tense, which tells us about something that happens now, and we've learned about the past tense, which tells us about something that has happened before now. We use the future tense to describe something that will happen at a later time, so after now. So tomorrow, this afternoon, next week, in 5 years, whatever. Now, writing or speaking in the future tense is very, very easy. We've learned about how in the present tense we need to look at if the noun is singular or plural or which pronoun we use. And we've learned that in both the present and the past tense, we might need to change a verb depending on how it's spelled. In the future tense, you don't need to worry about any of that. It's really easy to write in the future tense or to speak in the future tense. You just put the words will or shall before the verb, and we know it's going to happen at some point in the future. So we've got some examples. I will attend school in July. Attend means like go to. The football season will resume this week. We've got the word resume, the verb resume. Resume means start again. You write the word will beforehand, and you know that it's something that will happen later. It will rain lots over the next few months. We have the verb rain, and you put will before rain to know that we're talking about something that will happen in the future. Same rule for shall. You just write it before the verb, and you know that we're talking about the future. He shall go on holiday soon. You put shall before the verb go. The kids shall complete their homework before tomorrow. Got the verb complete, you put shall before it. Monica shall try harder next time. Got the verb try, you put shall before it. And again, we can talk about the special verb be in the future, but it's really, really easy in the future tense. In the present tense and in the past tense, we had to learn different rules for different pronouns. But for every pronoun and for every noun, whether it is singular or plural, with the special verb be, you just write will be. So we have these examples. I will be a lawyer when I'm older. You will be quiet or else. He will be furious when he finds out. She will be the next in line. It will be rainy season soon. The food will be delicious. We will be in IP6 next year. They will be soaking. The chores will be strenuous. Strenuous means like difficult. Okay, IP5, that is the end of our lesson. Before we go, I just need to explain your homework to you. Section 1, circle the verb part in the sentences below. Then identify if it is past or future tense. When I say verb part, if we have a past tense verb, it's going to be one word ending in ed or ied. That's easy, you just circle that one word. In the future tense, you're going to have either will or shall before the verb. That means I want you to circle two words. The word will or shall as well as the verb. So let's look at this example. Mike will drink some soda later. I don't want you to just circle the word drink, because drink on its own is present tense. I want you to circle will drink, because that tells us that it's future. So circle will drink, and then on this line write future. Do the same for questions 1 to 10. Circle the verb and then write past or future on this line. Section 2 is a little bit more difficult, but I think you should still be able to do it. You should have 3 columns, present tense, past tense, and future tense. Then on each row, there's 3 spaces, one of which has been filled out. You need to fill out the other 2. So you've got this verb, will fetch. Fetch means like you throw a ball or a stick and a dog will chase it and then bring it back to you. So, how do we write will fetch in the present tense? You should know that you just write the word fetch, F-E-T-C-H. If you've got the future tense, it's very easy, just remove will. So, when we're talking about present tense verbs, I only want the regular form of the verb. Don't change it by adding s or es or ies, just the normal verb. And then past tense. How do you write fetch or will fetch in the past tense? You should know fetched, F-E-T-C-H-E-D. So I want you to fill out this whole table, all the way from 11 to 40. Okay, IP5, that is the end of our lesson, and it's week 6, so this should be the end of these review lessons that we're doing on these videos. Very soon we will be going back to school and learning in the classroom. So I hope you've all enjoyed and understood these videos. I hope you're all looking forward to seeing your friends and getting back to school normally. Just to remind you, I will be your teacher next year for English when you are in IP6. So I look forward to seeing you all. I look forward to having normal lessons in the classroom. So for the last time, IP5, bye-bye.